Hey everyone, and welcome back to House of Mystery. Today I want to take a look at the Aurora Teagarden movies on Hallmark Mysteries. Now, there are a lot more than five, but we are going to go over my top five favorite Aurora Teagarden movies. But be sure to check them all out, as if you love mysteries, they are all worth a watch. This series aired on Hallmark from 2015 to 2022 and was one of their most popular series. It is based on the Aurora Teagarden books by Charlene Harris, and some of the movies are directly related to the books, and some are just based on the characters from the books. But either way, all the movies are really good. Some of them I have watched more than others, and so while you may think that some of the ones not on my list are the better choices, it could be just that I've watched them too many times. I don't know. But today, this is my top five list, and I would love to know yours. This is in no particular order, but here are the five that I like the most. The first one that I like is actually the last one in the series, which is Haunted by Murder. This premiere date was in February 2022. And it was, like I said, the last one of the series. So Aurora and Nick are already married. In this one, I like how they are settled. There's no going back between boyfriends. You've had Nick as the leading man for several movies by this point. You have Sally, her best friend, who always adds some great humor and is a great supporting character. And then, of course, you have Mary Lou Henner playing Aida, Aurora's mom. So just a great cast of characters overall. And something unique about this movie is that Candace Cameron's daughter is actually in it playing the younger Aurora, which I thought was pretty cool. And it really does look like her. But what happens in this one is that a murder investigation is reignited in a house that is considered haunted by the Lawrencetown locals, and where years ago Aurora and Sally, as teenagers, discovered a body. So this, of course, makes Sally very hesitant to go into the house, and Aurora, of course, all that more eager. So this was really, as sad as it was to end on such a great movie, I think that it was also good to have such a good movie at the end of the series. Next up, I really enjoyed The Disappearing Game, which aired on July 29th, 2018 for the first time. This one also had Nick in it, but Aurora and Nick were not yet married. And for some reason, when I was watching this one, and even though it's one of my favorites, it's one that I don't rewatch a lot, it didn't feel quite as Hallmarky to me. Like if you like a little bit more of like a normal kind of scary mystery movie, I don't really know, can't put my finger on it, but this one felt more like it. Like sometimes I forgot that I was watching a Hallmark movie, but it was really, really good. And the plot was to me very different than a lot of the other Hallmark movie mystery plots. Like I found it very interesting. I liked it a lot. So what happens in this is that Aurora has just recently moved into her new home in Lawrencetown when four students from a nearby college vanish one evening. Unfortunately, Philip is one of them. Now, Philip is her cousin who we see regularly throughout, not in every single movie, but throughout this series, and he's also in the Real Murders Club. So when one of the college kids shows up dead, Aurora and her new neighbor, a handsome professor named Nick Miller, begin their own investigation. And so this one is definitely worth checking out. And like I said, for whatever reason, it has a little bit of a different air about him. Really enjoy. Next on my list is A Very Foul Play. The original air date for this was August 18th, 2019. I really like the setting of this one because they are gone to this kind of murder mystery true crime fan weekend, and they have a play, and so the setting to me is really good. But while attending a weekend confab of murder mysteries and true crime fans, Aurora and her Real Murders Club pals agree to appear in the stage production of a fun murder mystery. However, when a very real murder is committed on stage in front of everyone during an unplanned blackout, Aurora's nephew Philip becomes the prime suspect when the lights come back up and he is found holding the murder weapon, a bloody knife. And so we have Philip again. Of course, we have Aurora's mom. We have Nick again. So we're back into those like more established characters that stay with us through the whole series. And this one again I really like because of the plot is really good, and the setting, I really like the setting. This whole murder mystery play and weekend is really interesting to me, but this one is always at the top of my list for sure. And then the last ones that I like, this kind of proves to me just how good this series is, because normally I do not like the first few movies in a series. I feel like they haven't gotten things quite figured out yet, and I think that they do character changes, and and things just develop and settings kind of change a little bit if you've ever noticed in series. But they do a really good job in the beginning movies of this series. Now, they have it a little bit backwards from the books. The very first book is Real Murders, which is the second movie. It aired in 2015 in July, and I thought that this one was really great. We don't have all the established characters yet, but still, they just did such a good job of setting up the series in this first couple of movies. So Aurora finds a member of her crime buff group, the Real Murders Club, killed in a manner that eerily resembles the crime the club is about to discuss. As other brutal copycat killings follow, Aurora will have to uncover the person behind the terrifying game. And now I do own them, but I have not read all of the Aurora books, but I have read this one, and it's very good, and the movie is really good as well. So I would definitely check this out. And even though I said there's no order to this, if I were going to pick my favorite, like I said, it's odd for me to ever pick the first movie or episode of a series, but I would actually pick A Bone to Pick, which again was the second book in the series, but the first movie to air in April of 2015. They do such a fantastic job of setting up this series. Having read this book, or read this book, and also, like I said, read The Real Murders. They do such a great job very quickly of setting up everything you need to know. And this movie also goes very, very closely with the book, which I thought was really great. So the librarian Aurora Teagarden is known around her small town as a master sleuth. And when her friend Jane unexpectedly dies and leaves Aurora everything in her will, she also leaves a troubling murder mystery. It is up to Aurora to piece together the clues and solve the murder before she becomes the next victim. And I would say that honestly, the first time I watched it, it probably wasn't my favorite. But having read the book and then gone back, I have more of an appreciation for the movie. And I just do think that it was really well done. So there's my top five. Again, on a different day, maybe I would pick a different five, but I would love to know what you think. Do you have a least favorite one? Because I probably have a least favorite in the series as well. But I am really, really glad that they have started the new Auroras, like the prequels to the Aurora Teagarden series. And I didn't know that they were going to be very good, but they are absolutely fantastic. And I plan to do some videos on those as well. But let me know what you think. These are my top five from the original Aurora Teagarden, and I would love to know yours. And as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps more than you know. Have a great day and stay mysterious.